everybody, and welcome to another session of Liberty's Bulwark by Blades and Blasters. Tonight we enter into our fifth session, and I am joined by several people. I am joined by Sim. Say hi, Sim.
Hi, Sim.
I don't know what I expected. Bees.
Hi, Sim.
God dang it. Wanderer.
Hey, Sim.
Hate all of you. And Zypher.
Hey, Sim.
Is it just me, or was I found this a little bit seductive there?
Oh, it does sound seductive, trust me.
I was told at the beginning of the session that somebody appreciated my voice back in the game. So I just
I'm moist now.
Zypher wanted to give everybody a extra special taste of that sweet sound. Let's go ahead and get started, y'all. The party of Silver Ravens made their way back to Acisazi after a long night out searching for sea devils on behalf of the town. They confirmed the sightings and made their way to a nearby lighthouse in hopes of spending the night, only to be surprised by a group of Hell Knights present. Words were exchanged and an awkward, unsettling tone hung in the air. Following morning, the Hell Knights left and they discovered the lighthouse keep was actually a member of the Bellflower Network. The Bellflower Network is an underground railroad of sorts that gets slaves out of nearby Cheliacs into the free lands of Ravounel. Slaves were present under this man's floorboards, and food was given to those poor souls on the run. The party then made its way back to Acisazi, where they reunited with a jovial Rigzin, who fed the whole town the evening before with reef claw, and endeared some goodwill from the group of citizens. Having investigated the reef claws and sea devils, the party made their way to the shopkeep to get valuable information, the location of where the Asmodeus cult was operating out of in the area. Before the information could be gained, however, a group of sea devils and sharks raided Acisazi. The party fought valiantly and saved several souls, but still 2 townspeople were lost. The town is in mourning despite the heroic efforts of these Silver Ravens, who've now been given the location of the Asmodeus cult to investigate it on the morrow. We left our session off last time on the piers of Acisazi, not too terribly far away. You can see boats traveling in the distance, almost like a Viking funeral of sorts. You know that the townspeople were in these boats and that they were being let out to sea, their final resting place. People were crying, moaning, those who were beloved by the community. Acisazi is a small, tight-knit community. So losing a townsperson is equivalent to losing a member of your own family. As the light of those boats kind of disappeared into the final distance where the moon was rising over the ocean, the mayor turned towards you, this group of Silver Ravens, and essentially inducted you as honorary members of the community, having said, "We may have lost 2, but I'd like to think we have gained 4. With that said, comes and the town kind of moves in and embraces you. You all part your ways for the evenings, and you are in the tavern afterwards. Maybe the townspeople are having one last good drink to their friends who are now lost. And we go to a small corner of the tavern where all 4 of you are sitting at the table. What's going on?
So this is the night of, like, when they were having this gathering, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember the town master, whom Milo was very suspicious of, seemed completely genuine and heartfelt in his appreciation of us, and that like he really does care about these people. Maybe he hasn't sold his soul to any devils, but Milo is still deeply ashamed that they weren't able to save more lives. I think we overheard. Oh, that's right, because we had a spectator last week talking about how hard this must have been for these strange people to come into town and claim to be saving us, but they didn't really. They couldn't save everybody. So Milo is taking this pretty hard.
Yeah, Sabriel is also taking things pretty hard as well. He always questions himself: could he have done more? But really, the question at the back of his mind is always the one he doesn't like to share so much, which is he had 50 years that he wasted. How much more could he have learnt in that time? And what greater difference could he have made with the knowledge of 50 years of study? So that's always the big one for him.
Mm.
Can Rigzin roll, will it be perception or something like that towards the rest of his party?
Yeah, go ahead. What are you trying to perceive?
I'm just trying to kind of like gather the mood, right? Because some of the stuff that's being said could be what the party is thinking in their minds. So I just want to inform my role play based on just how everybody's feeling.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead and roll a perception check.
Okay. So to do. Wait, 1 minute. Where is that? Skills. Where's my perception? This one.
So you probably see kind of like the plain look on people's faces. Might be more difficult for you to dig deeper than that.
Cool. So Rigzin looks at the rest of his party, and it was a difficult fight. Was this the first time you had to make decisions as to who lives or who dies? And he looks at all of them.
So on that note, as you say that, the camera pans in on Madden. What do we see on Madden's face, Sim?
Madden is he's kind of blank because he knows it's combat and death are synonymous. So he doesn't show the look of remorse or anything, just more of a blank stare.
So in that blank stare, we see kind of the camera slowly zoom in and in and in, maybe into his eye and onto his pupil, and it is a brand new day. It doesn't appear to have been too much time that has passed. Maybe we see a younger Madden as he is walking through the forest with some of his friends. I picture them out hunting for the day. And one of them just shouts out, "Madden, how many rabbits do you think you're going to bag today?"
Well, With any luck, at least 4.
Tell you what, I bet I can beat that with 5. The younger man says with kind of an air of confidence about him.
Well, if you get that 5, I should be grateful that you're the better hunter than I am. But, and he'll smile. Don't expect too much.
The man laughs, kind of slapping him on the back, and you can kind of see Madden with a small hunting party of sorts. It's clear that he's not the only one out there. Several are out there, whether it's trying to push out rabbits or looking for fowl in the air above. You can see that it is he's not alone. And perhaps we even see an air of how do you think Madden is interacting with his friends? Do you think he seems jovial?
Yeah, he's a little relaxed, jovial, has a few smiles.
It's clear that all of these people are some variation of orc, whether they be half orc or full-on orc, and so there's an air of not just camaraderie in the air, but also competition, as each is just pushing one another to their very best. You could see them kind of like spread out throughout the forest, all kind of doing their various things. In a moment, though, kind of the calm of the forest is just broken. And you can actually hear what appears to be some people, like just kind of like running through the forest, and perhaps all of your people just kind of like look up for a moment, and coming through are what appears to be an organized force pushing through, with a wicked-looking woman kind of overlooking all of them. And she just looks at all of these half-orcs with her little small army of 15, 20 people there, armed with ropes and saps and swords and clubs. And she says, "Yes, I think these will actually do nicely." And before anybody can get close to her, there is this like movement from her hands, and she shoots something out from her hands as it just like impale, it like almost impales or just knocks one of your friends right on his ass. And within a moment, this group of men and women from this opposing force runs forward into your group, engaging them. There are clubs that are smashed. There are saps coming out. It's clear that they are here to like take prisoners with the weaponry that they are using. What is going through Madden's mind, and what is he doing?
So as they're joking about the rabbit, the lady shows up. A look of fear crosses his face. And before you get a word out, he sees the lady push out what it was, and sees the one he was talking to fall on the ground. And that's when he first realizes that this is going to be quite dangerous. So as they start approaching, Madden pulls off. He doesn't have a nice great sword. It's more of a wooden makeshift. Has a blade on and is tied. Everybody, be on your feet.
So yeah, as that happens, you yell at people to engage. It's clear that the weapons that were brought were not meant for a full-on battle by your people. Instead, they were meant to hunt. There are a couple, arrows going through the air. A couple of these people get hit in the shoulder. Ah! You can hear them. But they run and just, start clubbing and just, hog-tying a couple of them and start, dragging them towards these wagons that are kind of, up in a hill. That are kind of in this small clearing. You can see that several of them have tied them by their just feet and just start dragging them, Madden. What are you doing?
Madden, as he springs forth to defend himself, he realizes that it is a losing battle. And he sees his friends getting dragged off, some are still on the ground. And the only thing going through his head now is he's got to save his friends and get them out of there. So as he finishes off his one foe and looks over at his friends getting dragged, he just feels overcome by anger that his friends are in danger, and he needs to protect them. And he starts, in a fit of rage, starts running towards them. I'll get those ones. You all get ready to flee.
See a bunch of the orcs, half-orcs that are in back of you, wanting to stay and recover their friends, maybe even their family. They begin to run. Maybe a couple join you. Madden, I see you running up there, and it is just this epic battle scene where you swing one and just your blade catches into this guy's gut and his intestines fall out as he falls down to the ground, just bleeding from this grievous wound. Taking that same axe or weapon that you have and just bringing it down on the rope, snapping it, and getting one free. He begins to get away as fast as he can. Another of these people with clubs and saps come up behind you and just start BAM! Hitting you in the legs as hard as they possibly can. You've taken a couple of blows at this point, and what's going through your mind?
Having freed his one, his focus is on the second one that's captured, and at every hit he takes, he feels the pain, but it's only a fuel to his anger at this point. And as he tries to work through the beating he's taking, he's determined. He has one goal, and that's to get that one that's captured, so he could get free, and then he could think about himself getting out.
See, at this point, your friends have maybe managed to get another one free, and they're running off. It's pretty much you see a couple of these slavers running after them into the brush, but your people know these lands, and with enough time, clearly have a jump start. It's pretty much you and this last one that's left, and you're taking these blows. You get up, you cut down to the rope, and I just imagine your body is covered in bruises, and it's for a moment after that person is freed, you can see him kicking the ropes off of himself. Something just snaps inside of you, and the anger, the rage that has been dulling everything entirely takes hold of your person. What's going on?
So as he sees the one and gets freed, and he feels the rage boil up, the foam on his mouth frothing, his eyes narrowed, almost reddening from the excess blood running to it, enhancing his vision just enough. And as he turns towards the one of them that are beating him, "Lol, now you should feel what it feels like to die." And he swings his cleave down on top of him. And the last thing he does before he loses himself in the rage is, "Flee now! Go to warn the others. They need to flee." And he'll run into the group of slavers, trying to distract them enough that his friend will get free and run.
Yeah, sure enough, the guy starts kicking at the rope and gets it off. A few others try to grab at him ineffectually. You can see rope being almost lassoed, and a couple of them actually get his arms and kind of start pulling him back. I imagine that you are just lost in this blood fury, and it is just a bloodbath despite all of the blows that you are taking. The one you cleave on his head, just a spurt of blood comes out. and his eyes roll back, and he falls to the ground. Like another, you just start this whirlwind of slashing. 2 others fall down, and finally, all of them just start to coalesce on you, realizing that you are this huge threat, just beating you until finally, like, you begin to, like, go unconscious. And as you fall to the ground, your eyes flickering one last time, you see your friend being pulled back. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to get away. You were able to save a couple, but not this one. Begins being pulled back, and the woman comes up to you. And there is a quiet after this battle, and just like an ominous tone just kind of like hangs in the air as she... at this point, you're like restrained, barely holding on to whatever you possibly can. And she is like, ooh, this one is a fighter. And she takes her hand and, like, after your weapon has been kicked away, and she kind of like grabs your jaw, kind of like turning your head to the side, left and the right. These green eyes of hers just piercing, and black hair. He'll do nicely in the fighting pits. That one we might be able to use for other things. But this one, yes, this one will do. And the last thing you can see is your friend being dragged off, and this woman looking at you before you go unconscious. Until you meet this inky black. The camera zooms out this time from Madden's eye at the tavern with his friends, seemingly in the middle of all of this. It almost comes back to, and maybe you lost yourself in this moment, or maybe the words from Rigzin just triggered it. Have you ever had to choose something like that before? But we're back in the present. How does Madden respond to Rigzin's question?
He's so entranced in himself, he doesn't register the question, and he kind of blinks and he looks at Rigzin, realizing he said something to him, but has no idea what he said, and he just kind of gives him this blank look. Did you say something?
Yes, Madden. To all of you. Was this the first time you had to decide who lives or dies in a battle?
Unfortunately not. It is, unfortunately, a broad product of combat. One always must live and others must die. If you dwell on this choice, well, it drives you mad.
Well said, Madden. What about you, Milo? What about you, Sabriel?
Sabriel looks like he hadn't heard as well, but you think that he actually is pretending not to have heard. He looks up from the tome he's studying and says, it's not the first time I've ever failed to protect someone, if that's what you mean. But the answer to that is to hone my skills, to make sure that I'm the best I can be, to make sure that no one dies because I'm not strong enough to save them. And then he kind of just tries to smile, but it comes out more almost like a wince. and then he gives it a sort of an apologetic look, and then goes back to his book.
Milo has that 1,000-yard stare. He just can't shake the image of these elves. I think especially one woman who he just saw pull into the water, and he ran back to see if he could save her, and wasn't enough of her to save. Just that dead look of big eyes and just covered in blood, and that gives him the flashback of the very first session where we talked about that when he was with that Death Knight, and they were dropping bodies onto spikes of the fences, same dead eyes, just looking in desperation. And you said that dwelling on these things will drive you mad. He's certainly dwelling on it. Although, again, I'm not sure how much he's saying out loud. This is what's going through his mind.
These are always difficult times after combat. In the heat, we make decisions. Sometimes those decisions are all we could see. And you can see from the way Rigzin is talking that it's like he's partially talking to you, but he's also talking to himself. And he seems to be reliving some aspect of his past through his words. It's always in the clarity of after the fight that we go over our decisions, pick them apart, replay them, think of what could have been, what should have been, what may have been. Be careful, my friends. That's a dangerous path to tread on. A lot of anguish lies down that path. You open yourself to the powers beyond. You open yourself to manipulation by entities that can play on your guilt. Be careful. Guilt is a powerful ally of those who wish to subjugate and subvert. With that, Rigzin kind of sits back a little and looks into his drink.
So, do you not care?
No, I do care. We must care. Caring is important. But we must also realize that we cannot control that which is uncontrollable. We can be part of fate's play, but we cannot control fate itself. Many people have lost their way trying to find ways to control fate.
Milo's just shaking his head, like,
I just don't see why we should have these abilities. If it doesn't really make a difference. We aren't supposed to. Oh, we failed. Oh well, just move on. What's the point?
And as he says that, Sabriel, he's still ostensibly, engrossed in his study. But as Milo says that, Sabriel shoots him a look, and it's pretty obvious he relates to exactly what Milo's saying.
Mad
Yes. Go ahead, sir.
Mad would chime in. That's because you're looking at the wrong lad. You didn't fail. Some had to die, but the village is here. There are more alive than dead, and you live again to fight another day. That's not failure. That's not failure at all. Winning and victory is never easy. It's always hard. And there will always be deaths.
Milo's just looking down, realizing he's still like soaking wet from fighting in the rain. His robes are sticking to his skin, and just doesn't feel very holy right now. Well, I guess we can fight another day. He'll just stand up from the table, and the dawn brings new light. Is it? Sorry, I just imagined it was close to bedtime. What time is it there, GM? Are you there, Frank?
Sorry, I muted myself. Yeah, I would say it is close to bedtime. It's probably 9:30, 10. You could see a lot of townspeople themselves beginning to turn in, move on from the inn, and go to their homes, getting ready to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Milo will excuse himself, and he will retire to whatever room we have. He'll do some praying tonight, and he'll need to wake up bright and early to do some more prayers in the morning. He's upset with Sarah and Ray tonight.
Is there anything else you'd like to take care of this evening before we move on to the next morning?
No, Brigson is just going to nod to Milo as he makes his way back to his room. He's going to sit for a little while longer at the table, finish his drink, and order one more before heading off to bed. Just lost a little in thought.
Sure.
But then eventually he makes his way to the bed. If the others are going to be at the table, he doesn't say much to them. He's just lost in thought. And then he gives them a polite nod, wishes them good night before heading to bed.
Yeah, Madden would only drink lightly as they're at the table, and like Riggs said, he's not much to conversationalist, but he does chime in time to time of any conversation that happens. But he's more attuned to the bar and the fact that there was a battle, and he needs he just needs to rest his mind and prepare for the next day.
Sure.
And Sabriel stays there again. He's been working on some spells for a while, and even as he learns one thing, there's always another thing that he can't yet do, and he's never learning fast enough. So he's trying to concentrate on the book and trying to work on it. But he He's getting distracted by getting frustrated with his own lack of progress.
So all of you stay up, finish your drinks, retire, and get ready for the next day. Um, as you fall asleep, you rest. And just going to go ahead and assume that Milo heals everybody back to full, and a good night's rest would clear any wounds. So if y'all have any wounds, go ahead and clear that. And you wake up the next morning, and the ever-present rain that is in this place is still ever-present. The fog that is continually sitting over Acisazi, still very present. Now you have a location for the directions for where the town's essentially like the only shopkeep said that he could reach these people if need be. However, he would have also told you that it was always kind of a last-ditch effort, that in the event he really needed to contact them, then that's fine, I guess, come. But on the whole, they would meet him, kind of organizing a meetup of sorts to get him the goods to give away and or sell for Asmodeus. But it's the next morning. You're all waking up. You're all refreshed. We'll go ahead and make certain that you all get a rest as well. So that way, in the event any spell slots have been spent, you should get those back. And how do you all want to proceed?
So I believe you said we have a direction on finding the cult, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, the shopkeep, whose name I'm blanking on at this moment, which I could find.
No, that's fine.
But yeah, he essentially gave you directions on how to, on essentially where this group was operating out of. The group that was getting him these goods.
Okay. So, Rigzin is, after breakfast, he says, I think it's time we investigate more about this cult and find out what their intentions are and why they seem to be here, even though this place in Ravounel is no longer under the hold of Asmodeus.
Sabriel looks up from his ever-present spellbook and nods. Says, yes, it is after all the main reason we're here. Be good to try and put an end to this.
Yes. Let's head out and find out more about this group.
So the directions will bring you to the west, just past an area called the Dismal Niche. Essentially, you have to cross 3 rivers of sorts to get there. But I will go ahead and mark this. With a blue X on the map, which I'm about to share you. So you know it's a little bit of a journey, and that would be difficult to take via wagon. Um, Not a ton of infrastructure and roads in Ravounel. There's a lot in Kintargo, the main city, but you're kind of getting out into some of the more untamed wilderness of these lands. How do you want to proceed?
So it's. Do we know roughly? It's like a day's journey, a couple of days' journey.
Yeah, you would think that this would be essentially a 3-day journey to get to this location, and you're not exactly certain what you'll what you're fixing to meet. You just know that that's the approximate location.
So in that case, Rigzin would say, "Let us gather our supplies and some food for the road. If we can also collect some camping gear, so that we may camp for the night away from the rain, keep our strength."
Sure. What is everybody's current money situation?
3 gold for me.
Un momento, por favor. 157 silver pieces.
Same here, 157 silver pieces.
Cool.
But I already have a bedroll, some flint and steel, 1 week's of ration, and some rope.
Okay, so it sounds like you're pretty much ready to roll.
Yes.
Anybody else? Is there anything you want to try? I mean, you would know that the shopkeep has the basics to be able to get you going, and I'll actually give you a discount for everything that you guys have done done for the city, and 30% off. So, if you would like, go ahead.
I think we should definitely get a tent, or
Sure. A tent depends on the type of tent you're getting, but a 4-person tent would be 50 silver pieces. So he would essentially give it to you for 35.
Sweet. So we'll take a 4-person tent.
Cool.
I'll keep that.
Nice and comfy with one another.
Thank you.
Cool. I went ahead and put it in the party sheet, so feel free to throw it on your inventory. Anything else you guys would like to grab? Torches, water skins, bedrolls, any of that stuff?
I think Madden would grab some water skins full of oil.
Okay. Gets a couple of water skins filled with oil. So let's go ahead and check here. Water skin is 5 copper pieces. I'll just say he gives you those for free because I know that doing math and buying stuff doesn't make for thrilling YouTube videos. So I'll just say that for what you're asking for, just 2 silver pieces. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Cool. Okay. All right, we got some water skins filled with oil. We've got a tent. Anything else?
I already have rations for 1 week, for two of those for 1 week.
Okay.
Yeah. Got rope, bedroll, that kind of stuff.
Cool.
I'm pretty good.
Okay. All right, and should you, and so here's what I'm going to do. This is going to be the MacGuffin rule, just so that we don't take too much more time buying stuff. I'm going to give each of you guys 2 MacGuffins. And so what that means is you're like, damn it, I really wish I bought X, right? And it's like a simple enough item. I'll be like, all right, that is 1 MacGuffin. And then you'll only have 1 MacGuffin left that you can, have bought in the past. But that way we won't take forever as well shopping. Sound like a plan?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Cool. All right. So you guys got your MacGuffin. You got your other stuff. And at that, do you guys just begin marching southwest?
Yes, I think so. Yep.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Frank. What was the those Death Knights we ran into at the lighthouse? Where were they going?
Hell Knight.
I'm sorry, Hell Knight. Thank you. Where were they
Yeah,
going?
no worries. They actually really didn't tell you. When they kind of figured out what was going on, they really were very pursed-lipped and didn't say a whole lot afterwards. What you do remember is that they kind of made their way off north on the road until they were kind of out of eye shot. Or out of sight.
Sure.
Eye shot.
Fair.
Okay. All right.
Just so that everybody else knows, Rigson knows nothing about the lighthouse and the lighthouse keeper and the people who are taking shelter there. So if anybody else in the party wants to bring that up, that's cool as well.
Oh yeah. No, we'll definitely fill him in on that. Given the basics of what happened, we had to take shelter overnight at the lighthouse, and there were these two Hell Knights there, and yeah, we exchanged some words, but we remembered that we weren't meant to cause trouble unless they were doing anything blatantly illegal. And they left in the morning after after some light threats, and then we discovered that the lighthouse keeper was was part of the this network getting slaves to freedom, and that he was actually hiding some. So it was a good thing we didn't cause too much trouble.
I see. Should we check on the lighthouse keeper before we leave this place? Do you think he was under threat from those Hell Knights?
Yeah, Madden would probably be keen on doubling back just to make sure that they're still alive.
Yeah, you could. If I recall, it wasn't too terribly far away, so you can spend the morning getting there, and it would essentially you'd get there about noonish.
Yes, that is a good point, Madden. Let us check on the lighthouse keeper, make sure everything is fine with him before we head out to the dismal niche. I do not like the sound of Hell Knights walking around Ravounel any more than you do.
Yes. I don't think it's coincidence that they went there, but I don't know what they know, so maybe it was.
Yeah, they are perhaps suspicious. Yes, it wouldn't hurt to check, would it?
And maybe, just maybe, they might be foolish enough to start something that they shouldn't start. And with that, Rigson has for the first time you kind of see, and it's little strange that he has a sly smile on his face. It's very, very different from generally how he carries himself and talks. It almost, you get the sense that he is uncharacteristically itching for a fight.
Sabriel gives a slight smile at that and says, "We should be cautious, though. They gave the impression of being experienced warriors. I'm no good at sizing up anyone's expertise by looking at them, if even such a thing is possible, but They certainly exuded confidence. Bastards. And he looks both... His expression is a mixture of anger and perhaps a tinge of fear.
Yes. I understand your concern, Sabriel. We shall not unduly start anything that we cannot finish. But it would be interesting nonetheless to see what they're up to.
Okay. So, just so I'm on the same page, it sounds like you are all of accord in that you would like to move back to check on the lighthouse. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. All right. Give me just a second here. Perfect. Sorry. Okay. So your party makes its way back to the lighthouse. It's during the day. Are you guys walking? Tell me about. We're kind of in what's called explorer mode in Pathfinder 2e. I haven't really talked about it a whole lot, but you guys have just kind of done it implicitly. The idea behind explorer mode is essentially that you are, excuse me, that you are just kind of like walking about. And so, how are you like walking? Are you trying to go stealthily? Are you just walking? Is there anything out of the ordinary? Anything you guys are doing?
Good point. So, yeah, thanks for that. I think Rigzin would suggest to the group that Madden take point while he brings up the rear, and that way Sabriel and Milo are in the middle, protected. They would keep the pace quick, but not something that would be unnecessarily tiring. And now that we are kind of going to be again back out of any kind of civilization, Rigzin would be very, very alert.
Sure. Okay, cool. Anybody else? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Yeah, that sounds right. I just want to say that Milo is he's living today, new day, as if what happened yesterday didn't even happen. It's a new day, new opportunity. And he's walking with his head up high, very confidently. He might clam up as soon as he sees some Hell Knights, but he's cocky right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Cocky's good. Cocky's good.
It's like we'll take cocky from Milo. Anybody else? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Okay. As you guys begin to approach, the lighthouse is far enough away from Acisazi. It's about, if you guys are still on the map of Ravounel, it's about kind of like it's this one square north. It's some kind of a harder terrain to get through. Go ahead and give me perception checks as you are all approaching the lighthouse. Okay. Okay, so Milo and Epley. As you begin approaching the lighthouse, everything seems all right.
Milo
nothing
and Madden, I
seems
think.
to-
Sorry.
No, you and Madden.
Yeah, Madden. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Did I say Milo and Madden?
You said
Or
Milo
did
and Epley. It's fine.
Oh, my bad. Ah,
So good you named him twice.
That's what
Yeah.
happens when you have a first name as your last name.
right. Damn you, Epley. As you begin to approach the lighthouse, sure enough, you seems pretty fine. A couple things catch your ears, though, Madden and Milo. You hear yelling. You're uncertain as to what that yelling indicates, but nonetheless, you hear it, and it kind of is a little bit awkward. And as you begin to approach the lighthouse, maybe they just don't see it or what have you, you feel like you begin to see a small trail of smoke coming through the roof.
Yeah, Madden, as he's in front, would kind of, as he's walking up, because we're at a faster pace, would draw his great sword out as he starts approaching the lighthouse.
Gabriel.
There's
swears
trouble.
and
I would ensure to tell the party. There's trouble at the lighthouse. Do you see? Do you see? Pointed out. There's smoke.
Yeah, I just realised I hadn't actually seen him until that point. Yeah, at that point, Sabriel swears under his breath and says, damn. I hope we're not too late.
Rigzin pulls out his sword as soon as he sees Madden pull out his sword, and hearing Milo and Sabriel, he raises his shield and charges forward. He looks at as soon as he gets abreast to Madden, he nods at Madden, and the pace now becomes a full-on sprint.
Okay, pace becomes a full-on sprint. So you guys begin running as fast as you can towards the lighthouse, seeing some smoke coming out of it. As you kind of get closer, the yelling becomes a little bit more discernible, as you begin to hear. We knew. You're lucky those silver ravens. And as you begin to kind of come out into the clearing, sure enough, you can see those two Hell Knights that I told you about before. And not only do you see the two Hell Knights, you also see them. When you see them, you see kind of like several what appeared to be just kind of like prisoners who are tied to one another. And you see, you can't really make out their faces or whatever, but it's clear that one of the Hell Knights is kind of like taking the lead, and the other is kind of like taking the back as these. You can just kind of like see bodies in the midst of it. You really can't, again, you can't really quite make out features, but it's clear that there are several people. Back to Cheliax with you! You broke your contract. That is unacceptable. We need to return you to your betters. Perhaps they're yelling it, even though I'm kind of like just talking about it in a whisper. You do see the band from the lighthouse, and actually let me go ahead and begin sharing this with you guys so you can kind of get an idea what this kind of looks like. he specifically slaps one of these prisoners. Taking a child with you? Poor. That man has many years and work left in him. You can't just... It's like stealing years. And so that's kind of what you guys see. Now, while you see this, you do not see the lighthouse keep. How do you guys proceed? And where would you like me to put your tokens?
Madden upon realizing that Hell Knights are back and are not in a position of feigning any type of woe is me, we're just Hell Knights in a inn. He's got a smile on his face knowing that now he gets to fight him. So
Yeah, they crossed the line.
he's not feeling guilt that there may be dead there. He's feeling happy that he may be able to dispatch with some Hell Knights and in the process free some of this, their newly captured slaves, and if there is any wounded, greatly killing the Hell Knights would aid them in the endeavor of healing.
How far would you say Rigzin is from the Hell Knights?
So I've kind of got you like on the southeast corner. I don't know if you guys can tell where you are right now, but I got you kind of the southeast corner of this map. I haven't gotten you too super close just because I wanted to give you guys the opportunity to kind of place yourselves, and I didn't want to just assume things.
So the reason I asked this is from
I just had a quick measurement, quick count, and it looks like just over 50 feet to the closest one, so probably about 65, 70 to the second one.
Yeah, now they've got their hands full, and they're pretty distracted. Now you don't see fire from the lighthouse, but you do see smoke.
Okay, so this is like RP. At a what would be the opposite of a boon? At a deficit to me later, because we are going to fight. Because I want to make sure that this comes out properly in RP. Rigzin wants to bring the shield down a bit, change his stance where his right shoulder is behind the shield, and at whatever deficit you want as a GM you can add, but I want to take everything I can and bull rush to do a full-on shield bash to the first Hell Knight. The reason I'm trying to do this is because it stands against everything that Rigzin has done so far in battle, but I want to kind of do it right from an RP perspective.
Sure. Okay.
Like almost like he's letting go of his training, he's letting go of his words. There's something else that's kicked in. It's not. It's if a paladin could rage, this is what it would look like.
Sure. That's fair. So here's what I will say for you. I'll say as part of your paladin training, you are normally like you're sword and board. You know how to use a shield. Perhaps you're like throwing caution to the wind in just hopes of like killing this person. So I'm going to take away the shield raised action from you for this combat, which would normally boost your AC by 2. And instead what I'll do is I'll give you a +2 to hit and a +2 to damage. Fair enough?
Fair enough. And if you want to add like that there's something like tiredness or like, if it means the next round I have to take like a breather because he's kind of like, it's almost like he's putting everything into this first attack.
Sure.
Almost like a shock and awe, but he's going to pay for it maybe down the road in the battle because it's going to take a little out of him. Right. So
Sure.
That's why I'm like talking so much before the battle actually starts to kind of set the scene for you.
No, I appreciate that, and thank you. And I think we'll be pretty. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I'll just do that. And I think honestly, let's see if I take some more stuff away. But I think
Perfect.
taking away your ability to use your raised shield is already pretty penalizing. So, all right, guys, let's go ahead and roll for initiative. It is that time. The one thing I always have to remember going between Fantasy Grounds and Roll20 is that I have to double click on things in Fantasy Grounds, and I only have to single click on actions in Roll20, and I end up invariably rolling something 50 times in Roll20 because I forget. Okay, guys. Okay, how I'm going to also act this is they don't know you're coming. So, and they've got their hands full. So I'm going to keep this initiative, but I'm going to give you all a surprise round, which is essentially 2 actions before they even act. So that will allow Rigson to run up. And everybody else. But let's start with Milo. Milo, What do you want to do with your surprise?
I think Milo sees Rigson go into Paladin Beast mode, and will target him. Worried he's about to go in and kill himself. Target him and cast Sanctuary on him.
Sanctuary. That's okay. Just remind us of what its effects do.
Sure.
To keep us going.
Basically, it puts a ward on this person. Protective energy that deters enemy attacks. Creatures attempting to attack the target must attempt a will save each time. And if the target uses a hostile action, the spell ends. That was a dumb move. Maybe I shouldn't do that. I didn't read that part. Sanctuary is for a pacifist. It's not for crazy paladin.
Yeah, if you'd like to do something else, that's fine.
Thank you for letting me go back on that, because I should read my spells before I cast them.
The only time that the hand is off the chess piece is after your turn is over.
That's fair. Well, geez, two actions, huh? Can I cast Guidance twice? I think I can. Grants the target a +1 to their attack roll. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll just cast Guidance on both of our guys running in.
Okay, so you put Guidance on both Rigson and Madden.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
That's that was one. Yeah, one action 2 times.
And how long does Guidance last? Just one round?
You know what? It lasts until the start of my next turn. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Skipping these guys. Madden.
Hey, Prankster, sorry to pull you out of this. I just want to confirm, end of last session, because of the stuff we did, we got gifts, and I remember the gifts was a silver longsword and a silver greatsword.
You are correct. Thank you. I 100% forgot about that. Let me go ahead. For the purposes of tonight, I'm just going to go ahead and change the one you currently have in each of your inventories. You should, or in your weapon attacks.
Yes, please. Thank you.
See a +1 silver longsword there, and thank you for that reminder.
It's +1, so the magical?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, it is on both Madden and Rixon.
And just so that Milo and Sabriel got gifts as well, and that I do not remember. So
I've got mine.
Yeah.
okay, cool. Okay, cool.
I remembered nothing.
Is it okay if I change one of my spells sort of retroactively? Because I've got magic weapon, because I'd forgotten there's no point to having it now for these guys.
For magic weapon?
Yeah.
I don't. I don't.
It
know
turns
if
something into a +1 weapon, which is what they've got now.
Unless they add that +1, they're already +1, making it a +2.
Yeah, no, that would. So, because you are, because you're casting a spell on the +1 weapon, they will get that additional +1.
There you go.
And in addition, the other benefit of magic weapon is it doubles the number of weapon damage on the dice to 2. So if it's a D8, it would be 2D8 as opposed to 1D8.
Yeah, the baby gift sums it all now.
Yeah, stack them bonuses if you want. So Madden, it is your turn. How would you like to proceed?
All right. So first thing Madden's gonna do is move 25 feet. That's his stride. I gotta turn on Sirescape. I'm talking over it. That's better. So first thing he's gonna do is move his full speed there, which is 25. And if I remember correctly, if I move diagonal, it counts as 1 the first time. If the second diagonal counts as 2, so he's gonna only move 1 diagonally.
Okay. You also have an ability, if I'm correct, like some type of ability allows you to move twice and still take an attack action at the end.
Yes, that'd be 50 feet, because it'd be double the, right, because it would be double the 25, which would put me short. So the purpose of the moving once would put me in range of that ability.
Got you. Okay, cool.
So, and then the second action will be to start foaming at the mouth. Let me turn that rage arm.
Sweet. Okay, Madden moves and begins getting angry. Sabriel.
Sabriel takes a step up beside Rigzin and reaches out, and just as Rigzin is reaching to draw his sword, he holds out a hand and touches the hilt of the sword. Probably actually kind of touches Rigzin's hand and the hilt of the sword at the same time, so Rigzin knows not to pull away, and mutters a few arcane words and casts magic weapon on it. And then he says to Rigzin, "Send them back to hell."
I like it.
Well, send them to hell, not send them back to hell.
All right. I believe. Oh, wait a second. Okay, there's an actual way to apply the effect right out of there, so that's what I'm trying to figure out. Ah, there we go. Let's see. Bam, there you go. The effect is already on your character sheet and will already be computed in with Fantasy Grounds, so we don't even have to mess with it. Sweet. All right, Rigzin, you are up.
Rigzin is looking at the Hell Knights, and from an effect perspective, it's like his vision starts like tunneling. The peripheral just starts disappearing, and it's like a mist of red is, kind of washing down his vision, and it just becomes a tunnel vision looking at that single Hell Knight in front of him. And he starts taking a few steps he as he's taking the steps, he feels his weapon kind of glow and vibrate a little bit from what Sabriel did to it, and the steps become a little faster, little faster. The steps become strides. Strides becomes charging feet. At which point he is now, his right shoulder is behind the shield. The shield is on his shoulder. The sword is in the other hand, and it's pretty much looks like a joust, but without the horse. The horse is Rigzin's legs itself, and he starts charging towards the Hell Knights. The sword, the deed, righteousness again. And then he kind of screams with all the air in his lungs, for Yomadai! And he just starts. At this point, he's like, if you can think of anything that's like a train within this world, that's what's going towards them at that point.
Sweet. All right, so feel free to move your token where you would like to put it. And Madden and Rigzin, this mostly relates to you, but this will be for everybody. I don't want to count squares. Let's just go ahead and use the ruler. To bring up the ruler, you could just double-click left and right-click and move your token where you would like, as long as it's within range of the ruler. Fair enough?
So it says 70 feet for me to get to this guy. Or 75 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to do everything to get there.
So yeah, you could move about there, I think, where the end of my red ruler ends.
Oh, wait. There we go.
Sweet. And to clear your ruler, just remember you just have to left-click, right-click again in one spot, and it will get rid of your ruler.
Cool.
Okay, Milo, you get another chance as we actually enter round one of this. They see a mad paladin running at them, and you can see wicked grins on these Hell Knights and fearful stares in these people who are apparently entrapped in this rope.
Sure. Milo will come a bit closer. I think this is 25. And again, just cast guidance on both of our fighter guys. And that's it for Milo.
Okay, cool. So each of you get another +1 to the end of this round. It is this guy's turn. He did not have his weapon out. So first action is... Actually, you know what? He's going to try an intimidate check. That's the first thing he's going to do. He looks at these people, and he's like, "Stay like the dogs you are." And let's see what happens with that intimidate check. That is a 29. All of these people begin just like cowering in fear, and they don't move, especially the child that he was at. So first action, pull out his weapon. Second action was to intimidate. Third action is going to be to move. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Just in the interest of being in squares, I'll do it like that. That is his turn. This guy, let's see here, sees Rigzin coming at him, and he goes, "Oh dear, oh dear," smiling, and he is going to cast a spell on Rigzin. Simple spell. Let's see if it goes and works. This will be targeting Rigzin as all of a sudden, like, this bag just like comes flying out of his hands, and it is a Tanglefoot bag. So I need you to roll me a reflex save, Mr. Rigzin, as he sees you charging at him.
Where is that? Ah, there it is. Reflex in combat. Okay. Oh no!
Yeah, that is a fail. Or, I'm sorry, that is a critical success against you. Oh, actually, you know what? I am not.
I thought
think
we
I'm
had
actually-
two rounds against him. Is that maybe I was wrong? No, it's fine. Go ahead.
You know what? I think I actually did that wrong. I think he's actually, because it's an attack spell, he's supposed to make an attack against you. It was kind of unclear from what I was able to see here. So I'm just going to go ahead and, unfortunately, it really doesn't give me the option to roll it. Let me see here. Right. Oh, actually, maybe I did do it. Huh. Oh, these others are saves, so... But that's a spell attack. Yeah, I mean, he's throwing something at you, so I think he has to actually hit you. So, give me a second. Let me just roll a d20, because they don't have it in there. That's still going to hit you, because he's got a plus 12 for a 29, so that is a... that is still a hit. So yeah, all of a sudden, like, this thing comes around, almost like Ebola, as he throws a tanglefoot bag all around your feet, and you get kind of like tripped up. Critical success against your AC. The target takes the immobilized condition and takes a minus 10-foot circumstance penalty to its speeds for 1 round. You can attempt an escape against your spell DC to remove the penalty and the immobilized condition. So yeah, your feet are all up. So you could still move 5 feet, but obviously that's not a ton. That was a 2-action spell, and he has 1 action left. And so he is going to go ahead and... Yeah, that was a 2-action spell. He is also going to look at these people, and he says he will attempt his own... intimidation check, and he rolls a natural 20. And so they just begin cowering. Stay! We need to deal with these ravens. And he rolls his eyes. Madden, you are up.
Yeah, man. Seeing the one Hell Knight stepping to his field of view, even closer to him, wants to give him a nice warm welcome. And he's gonna do his sudden charge, which allows him to stride twice and attack. I'll throw it in the thing here, so if anybody wants to read it.
Sure.
So, yep, I guess make a melee strike against the enemy. Nothing really special except for being able to stride twice.
So now, I will point this out. These two are both Hell Knights, but they're both dressed very differently. This is just something you would be able to see. One is dressed in essentially half plate, the one that you are closest to, and the one who is kind of north of him, the one that casts the Tanglefoot bag, is clearly a caster of some sort. It has robes with pentagrams on them, or not pentagrams. Pentagrams. I was thinking of Pentagon. I was like, clearly he's a devotee of Asmodeus, but some type of caster. Continue your turn. My apologies.
Oh, no problem. So I would say, because I think 50. Let me check the ruler. Yeah, so seeing the caster there and knowing the caster's there, he's going to put himself within striking distance of the caster. He's actually charging against the caster, even though that guy stepped into his view. So that's where he'll move to.
Sure. That is kind of some weird terrain. That's fine that you move there, but go ahead and roll me an athletics check just to see you don't like tumble down that hill.
Oh man, I'm gonna fall.
Watch this, he says.
Hold my sword.
For my silver sword.
It's not a crazy athletics check. I'm just gonna say, I just want to make sure you're not like face plant.
There you
Okay, you're fine. Yeah, you're fine. You're able to like kind of like jump over the little cliff and make it.
All right, I have to say, because that'd been kind of funny if he slid into first base on his face.
Oh, that'd be awful.
All right, then he's gonna go ahead and do his changeling Hell Knight there. Should be targeting him now, and
Yes.
because the caster is dangerous. Wow.
Pulls down. You pull down your sword and steps out of the way, and she just has this grin on her face. You know what? I'm going to have her make a perception check, actually. Natural 1. So, nothing really happens. She just looks at you wickedly. Okay, Madden, you have 1 action left. Anything else?
No, that should have used 2 actions altogether.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to give me a third one, I will take it.
Well, no, you have 3 actions every round.
Oh, do you use a double move? Do you use 2 moves or 1?
Yeah, 2 moves. So yeah, it was 2 actions. All right, then he'll attack again. Not
Well,
as
2 moves plus 1 attack is 3 actions, right?
well.
He has sudden charge, which truncates.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it takes 2 actions to two strides and attack.
That's 1 action. Right on.
Okay,
It don't matter.
unfortunately, that is a miss. All right, Madden. Sabrio, you are up.
Yeah. Okay. Sabriel's not going to move because he wants to put everything into his magic missile. So I'm just trying to remember which of them was more offensive. I think I'm going to go for the armiger. Although, yeah, I'll just go for the armiger. So I get 3 magic missiles. 1, 2.
You are accidentally hurting Rigson, by the way. All 3
Am I?
magic missiles hit Rigson in the back.
Oh,
When you
poor
say
Rigson.
when you
He's
say
bloodied.
accidentally, he offended me about a week ago, and now I've taken revenge.
He knows what he did.
Yeah, sorry, I had to target someone, so I don't know why my default target is Rigzin, but
Oh, that's
quite
because of the magic
Magic weapon. You never
the
untarget.
magic weapon.
oh, cool.
Yeah, the hand holding.
That's what it was.
The hand holding. But yeah, let's go ahead and untarget Rigzin. And I went ahead and
Yes.
applied the damage appropriately, as
Thank you
well
very
as
much.
healed Rigzin. You're just lucky you said you targeted that guy, otherwise it would have been
Yeah.
that's off the chess piece.
Surprise.
Alright, so this guy gets 3 bolts that hit him right in his plate mail. You can see him get like shook back, and he looks at the other one next to him and he says, "Take care of him, will you?" Alright, Rigzin, you are up. You can attempt to make an escape artist check according to the spell to be able to escape. But currently, your feet are all tangled up underneath you.
Okay. So that's 1 action to make the escape artist check.
Yeah, it would be 1 action to attempt to make the escape artist, and it's against their spell DC.
Okay.
Now the spell only lasts 1 round, so the other option is to just move with 3, and you could move 3 times if you wanted to attempt to. But
Okay.
each
So
one
just
would only move you 5 feet. Oh, actually no. -10 circumstance penalty to its speeds for 1 round. Okay, so that means you would your speed for this round, instead of being 25 would be 15.
15.
Oh, but actually, wait. I'm so sorry. It also says that you gain the immobilized condition. So essentially what that means is you wouldn't be able to move for this round. So you'd have to use the escape artist check to be able to move. My apologies.
Okay. No problem. How do I do that?
Okay, so on your character sheet, you're going to go to your skills, and then you should see a...
Oh, I don't have that.
It took to make an escape. So, okay, my apologies. I'm getting 1E and 2E confused. You can make an acrobatics or athletics check to essentially like muscle your way out of it.
Oh, cool. I'll make an athletics check.
Okay, cool. So with one action, you're able to remove this thing off of your person. You have 2 actions left. Your speed is returned. You no longer are immobilized.
And my movement is... I can move 20 feet?
25, I believe. Is right.
Cool. Sweet. So I'm going to move right in front of this guy's face. Come on. There we go. There we go. So that's my second action.
Mm-hmm.
And now, because this attack is my third action, I roll the third number, right? Which is a -1.
No, you roll the first number. You only,
the first number.
It's just if you choose to take 3 attacks in a round, then there you go.
Okay. Cool. So this has everything that we've all entered automatically in there, correct?
I'm
Correct.
not sure. I'm not sure if my what's it is actually going through. My guidance. You might
Guidance?
have to claim it.
No, his guidance is on him.
I see it's on. I'm just not sure if it's reflected, but
Yeah, actually, it won't be reflected in your character sheet, but the numbers are applied.
Okay.
So,
Oh, interesting. Cool. Okay, so I'm going to hit the +9 in my sheet.
who are you attacking?
That shapeshifter, that the first guy I never saw the other Hell Knight because he was not in my line of sight, so I only know the shapeshifter, and he's been the one I've been always.
So the one
going
that
after.
threw the thing at you, correct?
Yes, that one, yes.
All right, yeah, go ahead and roll damage. That hits.
Damage.
19 points of damage.
wow.
As you just thwack this person,
Magic
and
weapon.
she takes a step back, gobsmacked. Did not see that coming.
So this is basically what it looks like, right? So Rigzin comes charging at them. He sees this like a magical bola appear out of nowhere, and it kind of like entangles from his foot. But because of the momentum that he has, it's like almost like pauses him, like like a break action. But then it just breaks as he just continues to charge at them, screaming Yomadai's name, making his lungs hoarse. And as he comes, it's kind of like a double action almost. It looks like from a combat RP where he uses the shield to bash and like brings a sword over his head and kind of does an arcing action, from the changeling's left shoulder all the way down to their right hip.
Okay. You did some good damage. All right. Milo.
Right. Milo will activate his reach spell metamagic for 1 action, and for his other 2 actions, he will just cast a divine lance at the bottom Hell Knight. For the Sun and the Fury, he yells as he misses.
Yeah. Goes over his shoulder and impales one of the prisoners.
Oh.
They're dead. Sorry. Okay. Anything else, Mr. Milo?
That's all I got.
Okay. Oops. I accidentally skipped my other guy, and I would hate to do that. Absolutely. Okay. He is going to go ahead and target Madden, because Madden is right in front of him. And he is going to go ahead and... yeah, okay, he's going to bring this war flail down on Madden, and we're going to see if it hits. Okay, so yeah, bam! It hits Madden. Give me a second. And it's going to hit Madden for Max damage. Oh, not max damage, but a good damage. 14 points of damage as this flail just BAM! Hits you in the gut.
I have a question. Does Retributive Strike happen after that?
So, that is an action. That's a reaction. So yes,
yeah.
it would happen after that.
Okay.
If you
Is
want
that
to.
something you're going to use?
So it
then?
says the ally gains resistance to all damage against the triggering damage equal to 2 plus your level. If the foe is within reach, make a melee strike against it.
Okay, cool. So actually, that will do 4 less damage against Madden then.
Sweet.
So you kind of like are able to kind of like he sees you coming and maybe he doesn't put his whole weight behind it because he's trying to get ready to defend himself. Go ahead and make your attack.
Okay. How do you want me to target him or?
Yes, if you'd be so kind. Make sure to untarget the changeling.
So how do I target again? Just
It is left control, or is it left shift? Shit.
It's make sure you target your own token first.
Left control.
And then control click your target.
okay. Do you see it targeted? Damn
You
it.
got both targeted.
Damn it.
There you go.
Okay.
Now you're
There we
down.
go.
You got the changeling now.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you hover over
What?
if you hover over your token, you can see who you're targeting too.
I see. So how do I untarget? Oh, okay. There we go. Untarget. Click. Target. There you go.
Bam! There you go.
Feel my wrath.
Yeah, go ahead and make that attack.
Is that attack the +9 attack or the +4 attack? Which attack should I use?
On a reaction, it is always your highest bonus.
Sweet. Ooh.
What
Not so good. Wait, why didn't that happen?
It's like frozen.
Didn't it roll?
It's like frozen on a 20.
Oh. Is it still frozen?
Oh, I don't know what happened.
That's weird. It kind of froze between
And it disappeared.
things and disappeared. Yeah.
Can I roll again?
Not if it's a 20.
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
It fell off the table.
Wait, Prankster, are you there?
It may have some server issues.
Oh, that's why it got frozen.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
There it is.
Oh, there it goes.
Oh,
There
you
it-
missed. Oh, yeah. Roll it again. Roll it again.
That one clearly fell off the table and needs to be re-rolled.
Wow. That sucks.
Prankster's muted.
Either that
So-
or he's having an internet issue.
He disappeared. Well, Prankster, if you're listening, it was a natural 20. We'll go ahead and apply it for you if we can.
Our apologies, everyone. I had a small technical difficulty as my computer decided to shit the bed. So, we're back. And we're going to go ahead and take this combat. Rigson had just tried to use his Retributive Strike against the Hell Knight Armiger. And Rigson, what did you roll?
I rolled a 2
It
plus,
was like it was like a 14 or something.
yeah, 13
Yeah,
or 14, yeah.
Can you
Gotcha.
pop the map back up for us, Prank?
Oh, thank you for the reminder. Now that everything's shut down, yeah, no, for sure I can do that. Okay, cool. So that was that guy's first strike. So he's going to attempt to use his War Flail again. This time it's going to do something else. So let's go ahead and... Oh, okay, 32. Alright, so here's what he does, Madden. On your turn, he actually... I got a 19 for a total of a 32. He reaches out with this War Flail, and it wraps around your feet, and he just yanks, and you go prone as he just sweeps your feet out from underneath you. And then, with a final attack, this will be at a -10, he will attempt to bring the War Flail down on top of you while you're on the ground. That is a total of a 18 to hit Madden. What is your current AC? Actually, your AC would be lower on the ground. At least 2 to 4 lower. What is your AC?
19, but I get a minus. I don't know if my rage is on in here or not.
Oh, you know what? Yes, you get a -1 to your AC. That is factoring it in. Okay, so that will hit. So he brings this war flail down on top of your chest as you fall to the ground. I don't know why it did 2 weapon damage, though. Oh, because it crit because it was more than 10, but in reality it wasn't. So we'll just go ahead and take away 1 plus 6. So 7 points of damage from you. Let me go ahead and take that back. That'll bring you to 15. Okay, so Madden, he does his best to really mess you up. Alright, it is his friend's turn. And she... Let's see. She is going to take a 5-foot step here. So that'll be 1 action. Rigson, do you have the ability... Oh no, your reaction is Retributive Strike and you already used it. She sees you like turn your back to help your friend, moves around you, and is going to cast a little spell called Burning Hands on both of you. So I'm about to roll. That is the Fantasy Grounds rolling your reflex save, and apparently you both failed. Dang. Apparently you both crit failed, so that'll be double damage to each of you.
Jeez.
It'll be 4d6 points of damage. Okay, so I think it just added it accordingly as 14 to each of you, correct? Yes, it did.
Jeez.
So yeah, and that makes sense. Like, you fall on the ground, your back is turned from this strike, and she unleashes this furnace that comes at both of you, and like you just feel scorched from your backs. And she just says, "Know your betters." And actually, now that you're down and they have an ability to see Madden in a different light, I'm going to go ahead and give them another perception check on Madden.
Question: being prone, does that make it harder for them to hit me?
That would normally make it harder for ranged attacks to hit you. Melee attacks, though, are easier to hit because you're on the ground, and they have an advantage of sorts.
And where's your reflex save?
Wait, so she can melee at Madden through Rigson?
It was a cone effect.
No.
Cone spell.
It's a cone
Yeah.
spell. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait,
That's a
so-
cone spell.
I see.
Because, yeah, both of you get messed up, and she looks down at you, actually, and she says... she looks at him, and she says, "Harl, do you see that mark on the green one's neck?" And he looks, and I imagine that there is a brand or something, Madden, from your previous years. It looks like we can add one to the ropes. And he smiles. Madden, you are up.
Jeez.
And Madden, hearing him talk, feeling burned and beat down, laying on the ground. You're gonna have a hell of a time dragging me to this rope. And I guess it takes an action to stand back up, huh?
Yeah, go ahead and take that action.
Alright, he will stand back up.
That is actually going to trigger this
no.
one's attack of opportunity.
Oh,
Which you normally have to be trained in which is what you normally have to be trained in Pathfinder 2e, and he indeed is. So he's going to take that attack of opportunity. That is a 22 to hit Madden as he is standing up, and that will do 8 points of damage.
And his orc ferocity would kick in and not let him be zeroed out.
Okay, his orc ferocity brings him to 1.
and my wounded condition increases by 1, whatever that is.
Yeah, that essentially just lets. Yeah, it's like a placeholder for dying. So if you go down, if you get below 0 again, you just go to dying 2 straight away.
Gotcha.
So yeah, you're beat up pretty good right now. But that was your move action. You have 2 actions left.
Alright, oh, there's only one thing left. To attack this Hell Knight that's within reach. That's what all he has.
Alright, that's the first one. You have a second action left. Or a third action.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. Your attacks miss. Perhaps you're just like rocked on your feet like a Mortal Kombat character that's getting ready to have a fatality. But will it happen? Sabriel, you're up.
Okay, Sabriel switches targets to the other one that's been throwing spells about, and hopefully I've targeted the right person this time, and I'm going to use Magic Missile again.
Okay, go for it.
Let's see if it comes up with Riggs in again, and what's going on. Okay, it seems to be the right person. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. So these come whistling past Riggs in and do 11 points of damage to the.
Yeah, I imagine them like almost heading towards Milo and then forking around him and twirling in the air until they finally find their target.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
One each side of him and one over his head.
All right. Anything else, Sabriel?
No, that's all I can do.
Rigzin, you are up.
Sure. So, 1 minute.
What are you trying to do, buddy?
I'm not just targeting the changeling Hell Knight.
Got you.
So I think she's targeted, and the first attack.
That is a hit. Okay, 12 points of damage. Not all of it goes through. Some of it is barely resisted. That is your first hit. First action. You have 2 left.
Second action.
Oh, I was on that 17. That is a miss.
Third action.
And 11. That is a miss as well. 2 misses. 1 hit. Milo, you are up. The changeling appears to be bleeding in the sense that they are not doing so well.
Yeah. Milo is concerned about his orc friend. He'll use 1 action to step a little closer. Yes, not being ranged with both of these guys just in case. He will activate his focus spell, which will give a little extra healing to Madden whenever I heal him. I think that should activate. It should be just a +2 to my heal. So now I'll do a 2-action heal. Just calling out the Siren Ray to keep this man alive. Heal. I'll use my Divine Font. So it should be 2 more than that. So
Okay.
I believe. Yeah, because it's a D10 plus 8 plus 2. So.
All right, Madden, you feel a breath of fresh air hit you, and feel like you can fight a little bit longer. Okay. It is the Armiger's turn, and he's going to go ahead and attempt to... He said, I said stay down! and so he is going to attempt a attack against Madden again. That'll be an 18 to hit. Does that hit? That does hit. Oh, because of your rage. All right, so yeah, that hits. And so roll me an athletics check to resist as he's trying to sweep you out from underneath your feet.
Yeah, one thing I did notice that it didn't give me my +4 HP, so I had to add that in for the rage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
All right, well, we'll go ahead and use it now. All right, so yeah, you fall back down on your ass, Madden. And he's going to go ahead and bring a second attack down with his war flail. So this will be at a -5. Oh, that's a natural 19 on the die for a total of a 27. Okay. Here comes the damage. That should not be that high. 6. Actually, wait a minute.
The crit.
Would it? No, it wouldn't crit. That's still well, actually, let's see. -5 would be 27.
Before that happens, is the first one where you put him on his ass, is that an attack?
Yes, it was.
Okay, so here's the retributive strike against that guy.
Oh, man, you guys are just rolling awful. I'm sorry. Okay. What am I trying to do? Okay, so yeah, that will not crit. It should do half of that, which would be 12 points of damage. So I need to take 12 back from Madden. Madden, do you remember your how many hit points you had?
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
So you had 18 hit points and 4 temporary, correct?
Well, it was included in the temporary. So he healed me for 13. I had 1, which would put it at 14.
No, he healed you for 15.
I should feel like
Oh,
you're
hit me
15.
15?
Yeah.
All right, so he hit me. So there should be 16.
So 16. Okay, so then so 20 total with your temporary hit points, right? -12. Okay, that puts you at 8 hit points. So you should be 28.
Just dancing with death.
And we'll get rid of the temporary. Yeah, so you got 8 hit points back. He's got 1 attack left, and he's just gonna continue. Actually, yeah, he's let's see, what's his intelligence? I think he laughs and he says, "Maybe I should watch. Maybe slave, you should watch your friend feel my assault as well." Feeling pretty confident in this fight, and so he's going to switch to Rigzin with his final attack, which will be at a -10. That is going to be a total of a 6. Rigzin, what is your AC? 17. Right?
17, yes.
Crit fail.
That is a crit fail.
Nice.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and roll this. I'm going to roll a D100 on my crit fail list. Oops. Go. All right. That is a 44 for a crit fail. Okay, so you in kind of like a comical fashion, you step out of the way, and his war flail takes his inertia and causes him to get knocked prone as well. So he is also on the ground. The woman chuckles through her bleeding, even though she is not in a pretty good spot. And she is going to go ahead and take a 5-foot step back. And she is going to cast another spell. She's going to cast it on... Actually, you know what? No, she's just going to cast another Burning Hands. All right, here we go on Madden and Rigzin. Oh, you guys, okay. Madden, you somehow are able to roll out of the way with a natural 20 and take absolutely no damage from this. Rigzin, you turn knowing her tricks and only take half damage from this. 7, so what, 3 points of damage or something like that. You barely take anything, and she just huffs a big huff.
Wow.
Madden, you are up.
So as Bannon rolls, he rolls to his feet, kinda.
Sure.
So that's the one action. And seeing his foes on the ground, he kind of steadies himself, and then swings, kind of like haphazardly, of course, because he's pretty getting beat up.
Okay. All right. So, are you targeting the caster, or
No,
are you?
I have targeted, but
Okay. That would still hit this the one on the ground in front of you, because yeah. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna untarget the changeling on your behalf. Oh no, you
There
got
we
it.
go.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, go ahead and roll damage on that attack. That was almost a crit. Oof, not good damage, but you still bring it down and get some in. All right, you have 2 actions left. What are you gonna do?
one action left, right?
Oh
stood
yes,
up.
you're correct. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm a critical miss.
So that actually, it won't be a critical miss because he has a -2 to his AC because he is on the ground. So that actually brings his. So it's just a regular miss.
Gotcha.
Okay. Let me go ahead and move this guy accordingly. All right. Anything else, Madden, or are you all done?
That would be it.
All right, Sabriel, you are up.
Okay, so Sabriel's out of magic missiles, so now he's going to go for a ray of frost. So I will make an attack roll. Let's see if we can do that.
Go for
damage. Okay, attack. Here we go. Oh,
that is just a regular miss. Shoots past him off of his side.
okay.
All right,
That
Sabriel.
was. So that was how many actions? That was 2 actions. So let me just check this. With my 3rd action, I'm going to try and hit her with a force bolt, which will actually hit automatically, and then do
All
4
right.
points of damage. So that goes zooming past Milo and Rigzin and hits her straight in the chest.
Okay, she is not in good shape. Rigzin, you are up.
Okay. First action.
Oh, nice.
Okay, good.
Oh,
So you're
sorry.
hitting
That's no. It's not the armature. It's her. Sorry, it's not. It's not correctly.
Wrong target.
There we go. Yeah.
Okay,
That's-
go ahead and roll damage. Rigzin, describe your kill.
So, if I'm not mistaken, can you explain what Burning Hands does, like from an RP perspective?
So yeah, from the RP perspective, she kind of like makes this sigil in the air, and then the sigil kind of like parts, and her hands like push out towards you, and a cone of flame, almost like a backdraft, like comes out and washes over you.
So, and from everybody else, it would look like Rigzin is on fire, correct?
Yeah, just this blast of fire hits you, and you probably got like scorch marks and burns all over your body.
So let's say from an RP perspective, because she hit me twice, like Rigzin, it has like active flames on him. He just turns towards her because she moved. He now has his, the shield in his left hand, his sword on his right hand. He's just like pulls his, like kind of puffs his chest out. He's fully aflame at this point, and he twirls his sword and basically just beheads her. While he's on flames. You know, it is like the rage of the paladin is something. You know, it's like maybe I'm not describing the best, but it's like as if for a moment he's forgotten where he is, who he is, and all he sees is just this rage in front of him. And it's not a standard paladin move to do a mortal wound like that, but at this point, with everything that's happened, and it's almost like something else is kicking within him, he just twirls, moves the sword around, beheads her, and instantly he just turns and looks at the Hell Knight that's on the ground, and he just says, "You're next," and he just starts bringing his great long sword down on the Hell Knight.
You got 2 more actions. Take them,
yep.
buddy.
Let me make sure. Okay, the Hell Knight is.
Oh, I was on that 20. You guys
I know.
keep getting almost 20s. That is not enough. He rolls out of the way just in time for your blade to come
With
down.
this lowered AC, not enough.
Even with his lowered AC.
Boo.
It's got the plate, and there's the final attack.
Oh no.
Okay, that is a critical miss. Go ahead and roll me a D100, buddy.
How do I do that?
Right click on a D10 and you'll see a little percentage button in the radial menu. That
There we go.
Sweet. 90. Ooh, that's not good. That is not good.
Sweet for.
Okay.
It was nice knowing you.
No, that's good. That's good. That's not. It is good. It is good. It's good.
Okay. So
Good critical
what
roll.
happens is, as you're bringing your sword down, he maneuvers his armor in such a way that he one of the rounded shoulder pauldron ports, and he pushes it up, and it just knocks your sword out of your hand. So first thing that happens, and then the next thing that happens is he whips his weapon out at you because he gets an attack of opportunity as a result. So let's go ahead and resolve that against Rigzin. So that is a critical hit against Rigzin. 26 points of damage.
Perfect. Awesome. I like this. So,
Okay, so-
would you say that the move you did to knock the sword out of my hand was it just shouldn't make any sense, right? He's on the ground, and he kind of moved in a weird fashion. It knocked the sword out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's almost like for the actions Rigzin has done, the sword, which is his entity, the connection to Yomadai, gets knocked out of his hands. Perfect.
Okay.
Keep going.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
keep going.
Yeah, and then the flail probably just uppercuts him and hits him right in the jaw and just KO. Okay, Rigzin is knocked unconscious. Milo, you are up.
I only have so many heals to go around, guys. Milo is going because Madden has that blessing. Oh gosh, I gotta get Rigzin back up.
You can get both of them.
Well, in a 30-foot cone, I think I would also hit the Hell Knights as well.
Actually, no. I just measured it. You're good.
The dead Hell Knight
Oh.
wouldn't rise.
No, that Hell Knight's dead.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure.
But
'cause
I guess the guy in front of Madden might
I know.
touch him.
I don't want to heal the bad guy. I guess it's worth it to get my friends back up. Yeah. I guess that's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna try the 3-action heal, which will be a 30-foot emanation from where I am. Everyone will get 1d10 of points back.
So just to be 100% clear, that does
Everyone.
not exclude allies.
Exactly. It doesn't exclude enemies.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, the dead one is dead, but I will heal the one that's next to Madden as well. That's what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. Is there, man? Let me double check on 5-foot steps in 2E, because if there's a
Yeah,
5-foot
no,
step,
I don't think they exist anymore.
yeah, just double check.
I just had to get one step closer, didn't I?
Oh, no, that's second edition. Or first edition. Gosh darn it. I wanted second edition! Okay. Step. You carefully, it is, okay, so a 5-foot step is just an action, but it still works in terms of not triggering
it would be an
attack
action.
of opportunity.
Oh, okay, interesting. But yes, everyone will get 1d10, and Madden will get the extra 2 as well. So everyone else will just get my d10. Let's see what happens. Hey.
2. Alright.
So again, Rigson, you should have. I'm sorry, Madden, you should have 2 more than that.
So I should have 14 total, right? No, that's a lie.
Yeah, no, you really messed it up. I think you had. I think you had 10 hit points. You should have 12, I believe.
Yeah, I'm going the wrong way
Is
with
that
this.
Yeah.
Death wish.
What am I doing? Where am I typing at?
Yeah, it's
So
tough if
if
you
you-
type in the wounds. It's like, yeah, so 36 minus 12 is 24, is what your
24.
wounds should say. I think it's
Cool.
right.
And Rigson, you just like barely get consciousness again, but you're
Perfect.
probably
2.
pretty run.
But would you say I'm also like, kind of on the ground, knocked down, right?
Oh yeah, well
Yeah.
yeah, you are
Prone.
knocked prone. Absolutely.
I forgot the Hell Knight also gets 2 if you didn't add that, Frank.
I did add that.
I
Thank
forgot
you,
to
though.
target him.
No worries.
Yeah.
All right, Milo.
That's it.
The Hell Knight first action
Just a
stands
huge
up.
burst of like sun radiant energy comes out from me, and everyone gets a little bit better.
First action stand up. Second action is not. It's just a flavor action. He cracks his neck and says, "Thank you, Serenright," and nods in your direction. And then he's going to go ahead and take an attack against Madden, because that's what he would do. All right, here comes the big. Oh God, that's a natural 20.
Jesus.
That is a natural 20. All right, so as a free action, because he has a weapon mastery and flail, you are knocked prone. So how I envision this is he like sweeps your feet out from underneath you, and you get knocked down, and with the same momentum, he brings it down on you because you're in this compromised position, Madden. So let's see what that damage is. 24, as he just like busts you up in your chest, and you like probably cough up a bunch of blood. And he looks at you, kind of similar to how we started the session, and he says, "We'll take you back to where you belong," as you fade into darkness. And second action, he is going to go ahead and attempt to finish off Rigson. That is at a -5 to hit, because that is a second attack. That is a 17, which will hit
That's
your
a
AC.
Yes.
Okay. So for a brief moment, you come back as he knocks you unconscious, Rigson. Imagine you're on the ground, and like light is fading out. So now, Madden, you are at dying 2, and Rigson, you are at dying 2 as well. That is his whole turn, and he takes one last flavor action as he points his flail towards
Milo.
Milo, and he just says, maybe like a little blood is coming from like
Dripping off of it.
yeah, like from the corner of his mouth. And he just says, "You can save your friend, the paladin, but I'm taking this one, and I'm taking these. And if you don't let me, I'll kill both of them." Brief pause in the middle of battle. How do you respond?
Jesus. Jeez. Metagame wise, does he have actions left?
No, he used his 3 actions.
Okay.
One was to stand up, and then he did 1 attack on each of your allies,
Ugh.
knocking them unconscious. They are dying.
Yeah, I know.
You, as a healer, would know that.
Yeah. That sucks. I want to be tough. Milo will again, his lip kind of quivering. Just tell him, the darkness will not win.
And Sabriel will call him from behind him. Of course, the darkness will not win. This man is a pathetic follower of an even more pathetic entity. Not even a god. Just a lord of the pit. And he turns and spits on the ground and says, "That to Asmodeus." He's yelling.
He smiles. Yeah, he smiles through all of it. Make your choice, or I will make it. And he readies his flail to bring it down.
God.
How badly injured is he looking?
Not very.
Not. Yeah, you guys knew that these guys were tough, and this guy is little beat up, a little scuffed, a little bruised, but he's still got a lot of fight left in him.
Damn.
Gosh, Milo will say, he's no good to you dead. Allow me to heal him.
Which one?
The orc you claim to own.
I don't own him. I'm just bringing him back to his proper owners to fulfill his contract. Do you not know the tenets of Asmodeus? And he shakes his head at both of you. What was once his will be his again. And perhaps you have a small flashback, both of you, because he said the same exact thing in the lighthouse when you guys were jawing at one another a couple sessions ago.
Yeah, I mean, we're out of order. This whole court is out of order.
I'm pausing
Sure.
the real combat mechanics for this,
Sure.
but the moment you make your decision is when they will resume again, if they resume again.
Yeah, he says I can keep the paladin.
But he's taking the orc.
Jesus.
He says, and Milo's just in his mind, he's hearing Rickson say, "You've never had to make a decision and choose who lives and who dies."
Oh.
It's just replaying in his mind.
Sabriel will start walking over towards Milo. I don't know how close he can get.
If he may, yeah.
Yeah, if he.
I say, okay. The orc is yours, he says. I say. Allow me to stabilize the paladin.
Sabriel calls across and says, "Why don't you take me instead?"
I think. Let me. He looks at his new magic caster buddy, who is his old magic caster buddy, the changeling, who's dead, decapitated over there.
After all, it wasn't the orc that burned the books of Asmodeus. It was me. Well, I can't say the word. It was
So
me.
yeah, he didn't know that. I think that would be an excellent offer to Asmodeus. And he looks over at the cleric, and he says to him, "Bind him and put a covering over his mouth." And he readies his flail, like, right over Madden.
Jeez.
Sabriel will nod at Milo and say, "It's all right. We have to make the best of this situation. Sometimes we're just not strong enough."
He'll kill them both.
I know. But not if he can take me.
He pulls a scroll out of his half plate, and you can see that it is like, it almost looks like some of the edges are like embers, like it should be on fire, but it's not. And he says, he like kind of like unfurls this contract, and he says, "Write your name at the bottom." And as he looks at you, he smiles and he says, "What was once his will be his again." And he hands it to Sabriel to sign.
I've got my hands bound now, haven't I?
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
Yeah, I'd love to, but I can't.
So I picture your like hands are bound, and he like still puts like a quill in it, and he's like, "Sign it."
What's the contract say?
It says that you're entering into the. So all of the words are glowing, and it says you're entering into the service of Asmodeus, and into his. And into the Hell Knights.
Oh.
And you will not be released until death.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
And well, I mean, okay, not okay. But Sabriel looks at it and sighs deeply and says, "I thought you were getting a prisoner. This is giving you a Hell Knight. If you want me to serve, let these others free, and I will go with you willingly."
Let me roll an intelligence check here. No, a wisdom check. There we go.
Can I try like persuasion or something?
Yeah, roll a persuasion check. Let's see.
Diplomacy, I think. Yeah.
Diplomacy.
Oh, naturally one.
Yeah, he looks.
I snarl at the wrong moment.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, your disdain," and I picture it like almost very similar to the issue with Madden earlier. He takes his hand and like puts it underneath your jaw, and he says, "My son, you," and he kind of like cocks your head. Like looking at it, and he says, "My son, you will serve, or you will die."
Sabriel sighs and says, "Let him heal them before they die. As soon as he's healed them, I'll go with you. I'll sign this."
Yeah, he takes the contract, kind of like tucks it away, and looks at you and says, "I can't get you to sign it right now. I think we might have some others who will help you sign it in the future."
Very well.
Boy. And so he kicks... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, and then Sabriel says, "Very well, let my friends live and I'll come with you." And he pulls the sack down over his own face.
Pulls the sack down underneath his own face. He has you in tow. He makes certain to, like, take the weapons of Madden and Rigzin all with an eye on Milo as all of this is happening, and kicks them, pushes them away.
Is there any chance I could have palmed off to Milo while he was binding me my holy symbol and my Eon Stone, and my magic items?
Sure. I tell you what, I will let you.
They're all little.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll me a. I think it's just everything's in a combined stealth. So go ahead and roll me a stealth check, and that'll be a sleight of hand.
Come on, dice gods, don't do this. Come on.
14. It's going to be against his perception.
Which
so
I'm sure is great.
Let's see here.
Oh, jeez.
Okay. Yeah, didn't get a chance. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, I'll go with him, and to give the others a chance.
Sure. You know what? He actually is going to. He says, "Cleric, no need to heal them. I will help them." And he actually pulls a small vial out from his belt. Again, flail in hand. And he reaches and kind of pours just the barest amount into Rigzin's mouth, and he pours the barest amount into Madden's mouth. Just a little bit. He says, "They'll be fine."
I just want to clarify. You are pouring a Asmodeus's followers healing potion down Rigzin's mouth?
It is not a healing potion.
No, but it's something that an Asmodeus follower is doing, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure I get all the facts, because things are going to change a little after this session.
Sure. So yeah, he actually pours a little bit, and I think, Milo, you would notice for the briefest amount that both Madden and Rigzin's alignment goes evil.
Oh my god.
As he makes certain to take these people. They're still unconscious, but you notice that their wounds are healing. And he looks at Milo and he says, "Pleasure doing business with you." And he makes certain to walk away, and with his new prize, Sabriel, in his clutches, he makes the same menacing motion to him that he did to your friends, clearly indicating that he will put this boy down if you try to raise a hand against him.
Jeez, man, this sucks.
And if you have nothing else left to do, y'all, they will walk out of eyesight and distance, with your two friends unconscious and with Milo standing right there.
So the Hell Knight with Sabriel and his slaves, he's going to walk into the sunset, or off into the horizon.
Yes, and he will make certain to before you can do anything, he says, he points at the lighthouse and he says, "He's still alive if you want to save him." As you notice that there's a lot more smoke coming from this place now.
Jeez.
And I think as he is walking off into the distance and Milo is standing there powerless, your friends unconscious, and Sabriel tied up, I think that is an excellent place to end our session for the evening.
Wow. Thanks.
So
thanks,
Ooh. Wow.
I did not see that coming.